It's time for more villages and more municipalities to start doing their fair share when it comes to building more housing, building more affordable housing, and allowing working families, young people, and seniors to be able to stay here on Long Island. And when we talk about the village of Garden City, they were recently in Newsday, and one of the village trustees said that Governor Hochul's plan is a threat to Long Island. And I think that's really unbelievable, because to me, the only threat is if we continue to allow people to move away because they can't afford to stay here. And I really want to commend the governor for taking on this crisis, which hasn't been addressed since the 1960s. But I want to clear something up. People say that this is not, they're saying that the governor is not working with localities. That is really not true at all. Because in the governor's plan, this allows localities to decide what the upzoning of within a half mile of their train station will look like. What type of housing suits their community, but it's saying that inaction is not an option.
So I echo those sentiments. I applaud Governor Hochul's efforts, because without these efforts, the ball doesn't get moved. We don't move the needle. And as a Nassau County legislator, I stand firmly behind increasing our transit-oriented development, because we're shooting ourselves in the foot each and every day by not recognizing that we are falling far short when it comes to supplying housing to our communities that are marginalized or having difficulty, our working families. Our population has become increasingly diversified, and that makes us richer and makes us better, okay? And in order for us to embrace that and support it, we need more housing.
Put your money where your mouth is. Put your action where your mouth is. If you support your grandparents, if you support your veterans, if you support your children who have gone to school here and are unable to build a family here, it is time to support Governor Hochul's plan.
We are working. Millennials have been coached, have been mentored, have been told to go to school, to go to university. We are impacted with student loan debt. We have masters, PhDs, and we're getting jobs at $40,000 to $80,000 a year and can't afford 2-bedroom or 1-bedroom apartments on Long Island.
In 2022 alone, we served 1,734 adults, 1,099 children, and 415 seniors on Long Island. Despite our best efforts, many of these clients still struggle to find affordable apartments. It is morally unacceptable that in 2023, we live in a region where the zip code you come from determines your life expectancy, quality of education, health, and quality of life.
Our local officials demand the right to keep the power, but they haven't acted responsibly, and they're still not. While this discussion is happening right now, they don't have any alternative proposals. They don't have a way to solve this problem. They're not talking about other ways to house the people. We're lucky. We're still creating jobs here, but we're not going to be able to do that if there's nowhere for anybody to live. The people who work in a community should be able to live in that community. They should be able to be a part of that community totally.
Homes are very expensive on Long Island, and there are people in our communities, like the elderly, single parents, and individuals with intellectual and development disabilities who can't pay a lot to be safe and happy in their own home. I believe that people with disabilities deserve to have a safe place to live near public transportation so that we can go to work, go shopping, and be independent.
Housing is nearly every American's biggest household budget. It determines what kind of job you have access to, what kind of school your children go to, even how long your commute is. The time for change is now. We need to act now. We need to not only pass this housing compact, right? This housing compact and the TOD proposal, but we need to ensure that every New Yorker has a diverse and a supply of housing that is adequate for their area.
Long Island was built on segregation and housing disparities. From the discriminating practices of the original suburb, which is Levittown, where only whites mostly were allowed to buy, to Garden City's housing discrimination practices, to the village of Freeport targeting Latino homeowners. And recently, last year, the real estate industry was investigated by Newsday, and we all saw the continued discrimination against minorities throughout Long Island. There's a map here that you can see where Governor Hochul's plan would allow an average density of 50 homes per acre within a half a mile radius from his train station. So to all the young people that are here and the young at heart, downtown redevelopment has become an investment for the development community on Long Island. But it's not on the affordable housing side. The downtown revitalization model that we have on Long Island only benefits one individual or one institution. That is the developer.
New York saw the steepest population decline last year. Long Island is one of the most unaffordable places to live in the entire country. This housing crisis is crystal clear, yet our leaders continue to neglect us, and we suffer as a result.
Folks, the buck must stop here, and that means plans like the New York Housing Compact must be supported. The narrative on what this is cannot be controlled by an unserious, disingenuous opposition such as this. Convincing New Yorkers and Long Islanders on the whole of the truth that the Housing Compact will not lower your quality of life, that your idyllic Long Island town will not become the Bronx, that mixed income housing in middle class and high income areas has historically fit in seamlessly.
In Long Island, it is illegal to have a mother-daughter apartment. The basement apartments that so many people live in are illegal. We need to legalize these forms of housing, and we need to make them safe. We do not need more luxury apartments. We understand that there is a chance that there's going to be a strain on local services like the fire and trash collection. But we need to find solutions to these problems because we already have strained garbage and fire and police services.
Mandates are a difficult pill to swallow, but we have to acknowledge the fact that without mandates, the likelihood of anything changing or getting done is virtually nil. We need the New York Housing Compact to move our housing crisis into a better place.
The time is now. The time is when? Now. The time is when? Now.